Well, okay. I gotta make sure that I have.
So is my audio better over here?
Yeah, it's a lot
Yeah.
better.
So it
So
might be Discord.
it might be
I mean,
Discord.
Discord did up their limit to 50 people in one voice chat, but the quality
They
settings
did.
kind of got kiboshed from that.
Yeah. I've noticed that.
Well, Amy was saying that she's been playing D&D over Discord, and her DM just completely went radio silent, and they could not figure out how to get their DM back.
Oh,
So she's
oh.
like, "Yeah, this is fun. We got 2.5 hours into our session. We're in our combat for the round, and our
Oh,
DM just died, and we couldn't get them back."
Oh my
oh
God.
no.
That's like
Oh no.
flying without a pilot.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, and then the DM could hear them all, but couldn't speak. They couldn't get their mic to work through
Oh,
Discord.
Yeah,
And then one of the players dropped.
I've been having some troubles with Discord as well, with D&D specifically. Um, you have to refresh basically, and then everything kind of sorts itself out. But having to refresh every time something goes wrong is really disruptive. So,
It is. It really is. I mean, I did a small session last weekend, and it it was okay, but we kept, like, Amy and I kept dropping,
hmm
and you literally had to, like, end the call and restart it or restart the app, and it was just a pain in the ass.
yeah.
yeah.
But Lee has been worse, so I won't complain too much.
Has it really?
Well, yeah, so many people have picked up their old League of Legends accounts that the servers keep crashing.
Oh,
The other
wow.
night, Amy wouldn't, like, they would not let her in.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
it wouldn't even let anyone log in, and all of the social aspects of it were completely gone. Like, you couldn't message anybody. It had no register of who was your friend.
That's
I
weird.
have
So,
friends. I'm
well,
all
'cause
alone. There's no one here beside me.
well, Tibbs and I were gonna play, and just all of a sudden, like, we had no idea who each other were, and I was lucky I knew his username because I had to manually add him to my party so I could play with him.
Wow.
And we were able to send each other multiple friend requests. It was kind of bad.
I've never played this game, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
But it sounds bad.
I have to admit, it's a trashy new addiction that I've now spent real money on, so
Well, how dare you? Have fun.
I know, right?
Your fun is wrong.
MMORPGs were never really my style, so.
They were always my thing.
How?
I mean, it's more of arena based than MMO, but
I wouldn't know. I've never played it.
I'm surprised.
I mean,
I'm surprised you've never heard I mean, I'm sure you've heard of League of Legends, but never you've never seen any of it.
No, I know nothing about it.
Wow, interesting.
I've seen some people play it, but I've never played it and have like almost zero interest in playing it.
That's fair. I mean, it's a lot of.
Are we
lot of it
recording
is
yet? 'Cause this
mindless.
is good for podcast.
I mean, I am recording, but we didn't officially start yet. So
Okay, no, I just wanted to make sure that we weren't using up all of our material and not even recording.
Yeah,
Continue.
I mean, yeah, we could just be recording right now if you guys want. So
that's fair. I can just give a brief explanation of League of Legends.
Sure, because I don't know what the fuck it is.
Please do.
hi, I guess we've started then. Welcome to Podcast Maybe.
Good morning and good Friday, friends.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
the
it is
Easter
Friday.
weekend.
Yep.
It is Friday. Oh my goodness.
My mom reminded me because she said that I can't have meat today.
Okay, gotcha.
That's lame. I'm making a ham.
I'm
Oh,
still gonna
man.
eat meat,
I love ham.
but I'm also not religious, so.
Yeah.
I live under her roof. I live under her rules.
Yeah, that's
You know
fair.
what? That's fair. That's fair. I respect that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, religion is a bit of a weird subject, especially in this house, really. I think only one of us are actually religious.
Mm-hmm.
You can guess who that is.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
But I have a weird relationship with religion. I think that in elementary school, I was so gung-ho about it because it was all I really knew. And it was something that I was good at studying. I was
Mhm.
good at singing as well. So singing in choir really helped. So I kind of built like an attachment to that, especially being so lonely, you know, like I didn't have a lot of friends. So the idea that like there was this omnipresent being that
Yeah.
that would be your friend was
Mhm.
kind of like appealing to me.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
fair.
my relationship with religion. I enjoy it to a certain degree. I try to be critical, but I also try to have an open mind. And I definitely respect people who are religious. I think that
Yeah.
devoting yourself to a creed is a good idea in theory.
Oh, absolutely.
Obviously, there are extremists everywhere, so what can you do?
Yeah. Yeah, it's impressive to see like people's beliefs and how devoted and like just enthusiastic they are about like what they believe in. It's inspiring in a way, but there is certain aspects where um, you know it can get confusing
A little
or
crazy.
yeah, just a little crazy and hectic and
Just a little bit.
chaotic. So
Yeah.
I mean,
My favorite
mean-
part of Mass is definitely choir.
That
yeah,
was always my favorite as well.
yeah. I mean,
Like
music's
even when I
always the
was
best.
when I
I
was
mean-
younger, I did a Bible study thing, and it was like a Wednesday night Bible study. And my favorite part was when we were singing, and that was the only part I really paid attention to.
Yeah, that's fair.
See, I was baptized, and
Mhm.
but I never grew up with like much religion. My mom took me to Christmas Eve mass like twice,
Mm,
and the only reason I went to Catholic high school was because I was baptized.
Yeah.
interesting.
And I mean, religion was interesting enough that it was something that I was okay with studying, but to be fair, I also negotiated somehow my way out of most of my religion classes in high school.
Interesting. I didn't.
I didn't
Um,
either.
Well, there was a thing when I was in grade 10 is that both of the two optional classes I wanted to take
Mm-hmm.
were over the same period as religion because my school was so much smaller before I transferred. And so they wanted me to have my French and my optional courses as opposed to taking religion. So they bumped me to grade 11 religion.
And then we all went to the same high school, and
Then we all
I
went
had
to the
to
same
take
high
religion
school.
anyway.
Yeah.
I didn't have to, well, and I had already taken grade 11 world religion, so they didn't want to put me in it again. So grade 11, I got an extra optional.
Oh, fair enough.
Nice.
And then grade 12, I didn't have to take religion because I took that high school's major.
I keep forgetting that you started at a different high school because
So did I.
when you arrived, it's just like you were
Yeah.
always there, you know? You were just
Wait,
there.
Katie,
Yeah.
did we arrive at the same time, like around the same time?
In our group of
'Cause-
friends, yes.
Yeah, because we both went to different high schools before we transferred.
Yeah, and I transferred in 2011.
I think I was the year before, but I didn't meet anyone till 2011.
Yeah, because you had art class with our redheaded friend, right?
Yeah, she kind of pulled me in.
With our red-headed friend.
I
So
had choir
subtle.
with that redhead.
Yeah, because I remember meeting them all working on the Beauty and the Beast play, and I wasn't really friends with them. And then it was like the following fall semester that I actually met them and like by name.
Yeah, because like I always thought you were originally a part of the group. Like I didn't realize until after I had known you for a while that like you had transferred in. I thought that you were automatically part of the group of friends.
It took me
No.
almost a year to get into that group. They didn't let people in very quickly.
No, it took me.
And
it
then
took
I
me
showed
at
up.
least a semester. It took me at least a semester
Mm-hmm.
It
because
took
it was
me a
through.
month.
It was through Lulu and
Yeah, it was through
Lauren
Lulu.
and Sarah.
Yeah.
For
that got
me, it was
in.
definitely Lulu, and it took her a while because
Yeah.
we bonded like immediately at orientation, and it was great. And like, I was so eager to be her friend, and then I just couldn't find her anywhere. And I had to work with what I got. So
Yeah.
I
Well, 'cause
kind of just, played the field.
I remember there was this one group that I hung out with all the time before our group, And there was one day where they weren't there, like they were off sick or they were off doing something. And so Lou was like, "Do you want to come hang out with us?" And I was like, "Sure," like, okay, because I didn't really know anyone outside of them. And then
Mhm.
one thing led to another, and now it's been 9 years.
Yeah.
That's
Well, I
awesome.
mean, that's kind of what happened with me because like I knew absolutely nobody, and Lulu happened to be on my bus,
Ooh.
and she got off at the same bus stop as I did. So my first morning walking to the bus stop, there was Lulu and Kaylee actually.
So
And-
this podcast is brought to you by Lulu.
Yeah, basically, she's our sponsor.
Brought to you by
We need to
Lulu.
send it to her. We need to send this to her.
We should totally put a link to her art and stuff into the description.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'll definitely
Because
do
she's
that
100%.
amazing.
for
I
sure.
have
got
one of her
Fantastic.
pillowcases.
Yeah, me too. I have a pillow by her. It's amazing. It's
I-
gorgeous.
I want a
Yeah.
pillowcase.
I mean, she silk screens everything by hand. You could order one, but they're expensive. I paid like $60 for a pillowcase,
It's
but
worth
it was
it.
so
It
worth
is
it.
so worth it. The work she puts into that is insane.
Oh, absolutely.
I've forgotten to check up on her stuff recently. I don't know what she's been doing.
Her
She pops up
Instagram's
on-
mostly quiet.
Yeah, I was gonna say she pops up on my Insta every once in a while, but
Oh, I hope
I
she's
was-
doing okay.
Shout out to Lulu. I've barely ever talked to you because I'm still confused about who we're talking about, but
See, that's what the three of us are just like a year older than you, right? So
yeah.
a grade older than you. But
Yeah.
yeah.
If you were
funny we
1 year
speak of
older.
her. She just posted 14 hours ago.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah,
It's like she knew. It's like she knew.
it's like my Instagram was listening to me.
She
Oh.
was prepping. She was preparing for this moment.
Yeah, I was never in that friend group. I was in my own little
No.
friend group. So
You had
Mhm.
you were like, your friend group was like an acquaintance to our friend group.
yeah.
'cause
Yeah.
I was just to say, like your
That
your
makes sense.
your friend Cam was, I think, kind of
Cam.
one of the bridges between our two groups of friends.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I met Cam doing theater.
Mm-hmm.
I met him
And so that
because
was-
of Halloween. Because
Yeah.
he was dressed as Kamaki from Uron High School
Oh,
Host
yeah.
Club.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my
Had
goodness,
pictures
yes.
of us.
It's such a good
I
cosplay.
remember
It's so good.
that.
And
That
then
was
flash
so
forward
good.
years later, and you two are D&D role playing a couple.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah,
great.
and his girlfriend was sitting right there. I was like, this isn't weird at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have a save the date to their wedding for you.
Great.
Man,
So-
I wish I could see it in person. Fuck this virus.
I sent you a picture of it, right?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just come by and we'll just like frisbee it into
Well-
your car.
Yeah, we'll just eat it in your window.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Sounds great.
So
I mean, you have still yet to come
Drive-by.
park in our driveway.
I know.
It'll be it'll be a drive-by eating.
drive-by yeeting.
I just don't want to put undue stress on my parents right now because
Yeah,
they're really
That's
worried.
absolutely understandable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
that's fair. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. No, I
I still
don't.
feel like you should probably go start your car, though.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
should probably
I've been
start
doing
it.
that.
Okay, that's
I've
good.
been doing that.
Just drive down the driveway or something.
Also,
No,
if
I
you have
just run it for like 5 minutes.
if you have insurance, change your insurance if you aren't driving your car. It'll save you some money.
Ooh,
Mm.
yes. PSA.
I think that
PSA of the
we
podcast.
get a really good deal, so
Okay.
I don't know how it works. My parents kind of work
Do
that
that?
out. Yeah.
Fair.
Hot sweet deals.
Yeah.
It's okay. I was just some of my old college friends, actually from my second run at college, messaged me out of the blue. We haven't spoken in like 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
and they were all like, "Oh yeah, like how are things? I'm a vegan now. I'm engaged." And
I'm a vegan now.
and I'm like,
I'm not.
I'm not. I still sit on my ass and play video games. I don't
At least
drive
you're
yet.
having fun.
I am having too much fun.
How dare you have
Is
fun?
there such a
As
is
I
there
said
such a
again.
thing as too much fun?
Yeah.
Yes, there is. It's
I
too
mean-
much fun, then you die.
Damn. Death by fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
How was everyone's day yesterday?
Tiring.
Busy.
I was off.
I was cleaning. I cleaned my entire room basically.
Yeah. No,
Everything's in a pile.
working at Walmart, they just raised their orders because, everybody's trying to get orders since the pandemic, and everybody's.
For context, Drew works in the online sales department.
I do.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Damn.
Actually, I think your mom comes by, and I've definitely gave groceries to your mom once.
Yeah, because my puppy thanked you for giving my mom her bananas.
Yeah, and then
Her
I think I saw her on the list again, but
Oh yeah, probably.
but I didn't dispense to her. But yeah, anyway, so our orders just got recently bumped up before we have the space, equipment, or staff for it. So it's been just hell, just trying to keep up with 90 orders a day, and we've just been
From like 30, right?
Yeah, it was originally 30 and then went to 40 after shit started hitting the fan. So yeah, just been trying to keep up with that and the chaos that is that, because now we're they've kind of realized how chaotic it is. We've have 3 assistant managers helping us. We have people from this department and the front end and customer experience. We're just pulling people, anybody who can learn or do it or is capable. We're just yep, you're coming over here. And they're just it's just chaos. I'd had to go in 2 hours early the last 2 days because they bumped it up to 90. So
yeah, his alarms went off at 4:30 a.m.
And then I've been working 10-hour shifts without lunches or a break, really, because we just don't have the space for all these orders now, and I have to organize and I had to create a method of which we organize our bins, because there was hundreds of bins we had to sort, organize, and then with 12 people helping you, it's a full-time job. Because people are here, where does this go? And I'm and I'm just fucking running around trying to sort out all this shit. So it's been
dude.
So
That's gonna look sick on your resume, though.
yeah, well, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'll put that on.
Yeah,
there.
it will. You need to put it on there.
Yeah.
That will look sick because that's all leadership.
I guess so. I mean, it's definitely.
Oh, it 100% is.
It's definitely. I had to create a method, and I had to and I've been so I did it for the last 2 days, right? So yesterday I improved upon that method. I was okay, I got the same method from the first day, but now it's a little better because, yeah.
You're more experienced.
Yeah, well, because the first day was just okay,
Chaos.
we need to do something, and I just did it, and then it was working out for the most part. It was still chaotic, but then yesterday was less so because we were a little more prepared for it, but.
You were pulling from your Wendy's trauma.
Oh, absolutely. It's similar. Don't you worry. And you've been through it too, Nova. But it's similar to that experience of what's happening. I just need to react and do and not think. That's what it is. So, but yeah, everybody there is really appreciative of it. They're just after the day's done, basically, they're just yeah, we love Drew. So it's really sweet and appreciative, but because
we love Drew too.
Aw, thank you.
Yes, we do. I mean, I live with him. He knows that.
So, but yeah, it's just nice hearing it from work because you're you put
nice
in.
To know you're appreciated.
Yeah, exactly. It's nice to know you're liked at work, because then things just go better when you're.
I mean, my boss has been Facebook messaging me, which is kind of strange because I don't have her as a friend.
Oh.
I know that.
And she's she was like, was such a tough day. Yeah, I had a really shitty day on Wednesday. She's like, this was a tough day. I'm glad we got through it together, and sent me a bunch of emojis. I'm like, okay, you're a mom.
You work with old people.
I don't want to say they're old, but a lot, I would say a good portion of the full-timers and the managers are over the age of 50.
Yeah.
So, but that's okay. They're lovely humans, and we're all trying to pull through a tough time. For context, I work at a pharmacy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been hell. But I had they put me in charge of doing all of our curbside deliveries, because we don't normally offer delivery or online pickups or anything, but we have so many vulnerable people in our community that are seniors or can't leave or snowbirds or anything like that. So they've elected me to be the collector, shopper, sticker in their cars person.
Nice.
So,
Yay.
on top of all my other duties.
Yeah,
Duties.
that's nice of them.
Oh, true.
I mean, I got a $10 tip. I didn't even tell them I got it, and I just kind of took it.
Fair.
Mm.
I
Well,
mean,
I mean,
yeah.
you earned it, so.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
I would hope I did, but yeah, I had a customer actually call me because apparently her husband had bought $36 whole in junk food for their
Oh,
kids.
I heard about this.
I heard
Oh,
about
dear.
it too. It's insane.
I
Yeah,
haven't. Tell me,
and-
tell me, tell me.
So she asked me if she could do a return. And I like our return policy right now is that like basically once it leaves the building, we have no idea where it goes, what type of environment it's going into. We don't want it back.
Mm-hmm.
If you buy something that's broken, contact the manufacturer. If you buy something that's our brand, we'll return it for you as soon as we're able to.
Yeah.
So like if you buy shampoo that's the wrong scent, and if you don't leave the store or you go out to your car and your receipt's within 15 minutes, we can do it for you.
Yeah.
But it's once it goes home, we don't know where it's going. We don't want to touch it. We don't really want to have to wipe down your bag of chips that you bought wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So she was freaking out at me, going like, "Can I return this? My husband fucked up." And I said, like, "I'm really, really sorry. Like, our return policy is like once it's out of our store, we really can't do anything about it." And by God, she flipped a switch on me and lost her shit.
Still makes me mad.
I mean, she was yelling and screaming and bawling, like crying, and I was like I'm really sorry. And she's like, "You're such a bitch, and how dare you? That's not good customer service." And I said, like, "Ma'am, it's the middle of a pandemic. Like, what do you want me to do? It's for everyone's safety." And then she just kept going on, and I just said, like, "I'm hanging up on you."
Any
Mhm.
empathy or sympathy I might have had for her ended at the word bitch.
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
Because what the hell?
Yeah, it's not how you get anywhere with people who are just trying to do their jobs. Like,
Well,
That's
at
not
this
how you
point
get
too.
with anywhere.
No, and I mean, if she had approached me rationally, saying like, "Oh yeah, my husband just got home. He'd only shopped an hour ago. Like, is there anything we can do? Can we maybe trade some of it out? I'll clean it all down in front of you guys or something." I probably would have said, "Hey, you know what? Let's do it."
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
And instead, she decided to have a meltdown and start swearing at you. So
Yeah.
yeah, and then like, and normally I can take that from people. Like, I'm a supervisor. Like, I'm the one when people don't want to deal with things. I'm the person who gets to deal with things,
Yeah.
and I'm more than used to people losing their shit on me for the stupidest reasons.
Yep, I'll drink to that, bro.
But at the same rate, you're like, you just kind of like hit a point where you're like, you know what? Like, this is overwhelming. I'm stressed. I work in the middle of a pandemic, and the last thing you're gonna do is yell at me. Yeah, fuck this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I told my boss, I'm like, I'm taking 10, and I just went outside just to bitch.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, and then of course it didn't help that day we were understaffed too, because like I normally would have just pieced out early at that point, but like it was only me, one and two other people on the floor that day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, this isn't happening. I guess I'm gonna have to pull through the last like 4 hours of my shift. Fuck this.
Yeah. Yeah, working through people yelling at you. I'm just glad I don't get a lot of that. Like, just like currently right now in the situation, like people who just receive groceries, they're like super happy and appreciative. You don't get very many angry people, but even in the past, like I haven't really had many troubles with people being too pissy. Like on the phone, they've kind of seemed disappointed, but nobody's like actually screamed or yelled at me. So it's nice to not have that, but like, 'cause I couldn't imagine. I'd have to do the same. I'd have to walk away for a few minutes just to, if somebody yelled at me. So
So my aunt used to work at a factory. I'm not gonna say which one, mostly because I don't remember the name of it.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But she was one of the general managers, and so she handled all the complaints. And there was this one guy or whatever that was calling, and he was screaming and blah blah blah. And she did the typical mom thing, where she literally said to him, "I'm not going to talk to you until you can be a nice person," and hung up on him. And then He called back about an hour later and apologized.
Aw, that's
Oh,
awesome.
That's good.
That's wholesome.
That's great.
But it still makes me laugh every time I hear the story because it's like, yeah, that sounds like something you would say.
That's amazing.
I've
She's
done.
like, listen.
I've dealt with a lot of stuff in my day. I've paid my dues. I've done my time.
Yeah.
12 years of it.
12
Yeah.
years of it in Azkaban. Yeah, I've dealt with some really weird people. Like, aside from the random men who would look at
Oh.
my name tag and
Oh.
then find me on Facebook later
Oh,
and
boy.
ask me
I
out.
remember that.
Aside
I
from that,
remember that.
yeah, you remember that because I changed my name to Hakuna Matata on Facebook for
Yes.
like
It was
Yeah.
hilarious.
solid
I loved
year.
that, though.
for a solid year. My name was Hakuna Matata on Facebook, and my employment was unlisted.
That name is just synonymous with you right now because
Yeah.
I
it's
think it always is gonna be.
Yeah.
It was funny though because you switched your name to Hakuna Matata, but things were not Hakuna Matata.
No.
Yeah.
No.
yeah.
But like it was a joke. Like it was a one-off joke because the first time that it happened, I was like, okay, this is kind of weird, but I'll just ignore it. The second time that it happened, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna make like a PSA post as like my venting strategy, and then
Yeah.
I'm gonna let it go. And then the third time it happened, I was like, if this happens again, I swear to God, I'm changing my name to Hakuna Matata. And it was just a joke. But then it
But it
happened
happened
again in the
Yeah.
same week.
Oh
So I was
yeah.
like,
Oh,
that's it. I've
Yeah.
gotta honor my word now. I've gotta do it.
I remember that post where you just said like, "Fuck it, I'm switching to Hakuna Matata" or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some people didn't believe me. And guess what? It was my name for a year.
Yeah. That was a good year.
It was a
Mhm.
good year.
Yeah, and the reason why it's so synonymous with you now is because seeing your face next to Hakuna Matata, like it's in my mind now. So
Mhm.
I have
It's-
old screenshots that have you as Hakuna Matata.
yeah.
Yeah. Honestly,
Mm.
it's more my name than Nova at this point.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
I'm trying to make it work, I swear.
No,
But yeah, I've had my fair share of weirdness. Aside from that whole debacle, I had this guy who was dressed in a suit, and he was cleanly shaven. You know, he looked like he took care of his appearance a lot. But he was also very tall, and I remember it was a day where I did not get a break. I was totally exhausted. This is when I was working at Wendy's.
mhm.
And it was like near the end of my shift. So I was just like, I got nothing left, but I'm going to take this order anyways.
Mhm.
So I sauntered over to the cash register, and he said something, but he said it like a little bit quietly, and I couldn't quite understand what he was saying. And you know that awkward moment when like you don't know what someone said, but you don't want them to know that you didn't know?
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
just like, and you just like nod. Apparently I did that. And he didn't like that I didn't say hello to him. So he started by saying, "Do you know who I am?"
Oh.
And he said, "This is who I am." And he pulled out a business card, and he was like, "I work with people with mental health problems, and I deal in communication. And your communication
no.
is terrible, and you should be ashamed of yourself." And he said, he kept like, going off, saying that I was terrible at customer service, that I shouldn't be working this job, and that he works with people with mental health issues. And he kept bringing it up. And he kept like emphasizing communication until I was eventually just standing there like dissociating.
Mhm.
I wanted to be like, "Sir, I am one of those people that
Yeah.
you apparently work with,
Yeah.
and you are not helping."
hmm
Yeah.
But like,
Mhm.
he was like, "I need to speak to your manager." So I was like, okay. So I went back and I got Jody. And
Yeah.
the reason Drew is laughing is because he knows that she takes no bullshit. She will always side with her employee,
It was
no matter what.
the best. Like, if there was any manager that would have been best suited to deal with this asshole, would be Jody. Absolutely.
Yeah. She honestly, she kind of ripped into him. Like, she was not having any of it. She was like, Nova is one of our best employees, and there's no way that she did something that would have offended you. I'm sorry, I just don't believe it. And he was like, well, she's not communicating, she's not greeting her customer. And she was like, well, you know what? At the end
Go
of the
fuck
day,
yourself.
at the end of the day, if there's like one person who's dissatisfied with her cheerfulness and her bubbliness, when for the rest of her career she's been perfect, I think I can let this one slide
Yeah. Hell
because
yeah.
she's more important to me than you are.
Oh.
And he was so mad and so offended.
That's what we call a mic drop.
I felt kind of bad, but he did upset me to the point where I was like near tears. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Kind of deserved.
No, you don't. No, you don't get to. You're not allowed. When you go up to someone and say, "No, you're doing your job wrong. Do it better." When you don't even work there, like, go away.
Have you ever, hello Karen, go elsewhere.
Yeah, basically, like, you don't just treat people with kindness. It's not that hard, dude. Just respect, really. Like, I don't know. It really bothers me when people think they're high and mighty and go like, "You're doing this wrong. You should do it better." I don't know.
yeah, I
So,
agree with that.
I do too.
it's like just go easy on people. Like, give them the benefit of the doubt at least. I don't know.
Yeah. No,
There's
you got a point.
There's certain lines that can be crossed when, like, when you can speak in and say something, but if someone just didn't say hello, it's okay, whatever. I don't know.
And like, I apologized too. Like, right after I apologized, I was like, "I'm sorry, sir. I just could not hear you. So I wasn't sure what to say." And he just kept on going. So I was like, "Okay, there's nothing I can do. Clearly."
Yeah.
No,
See, that's always my greatest fear too, is because I actually have a hearing problem. So if you speak in a certain tone, I cannot understand what you're saying.
yeah.
Or
I've
it
had
takes a
so
moment to
many people give
process
me-
it.
Yeah. But like, I've had so many people like just kind of stare at me, and I'm like, dude, I have no idea what you just said to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's a mood.
Yeah, because that happened to me at the movie theaters. The cashier or whatever was asking a question, and I couldn't hear him because there was too much white noise, and the tone he was speaking in. But luckily, I had someone with me. But unfortunately, she didn't hear him either. And I just kind of looked at her, and I was like, I have no idea what this guy just said to me. And she's like, oh, and then she like intervened and asked like I'm sorry, like, what did you say, kind of thing. But it's always an awkward situation.
Yeah. For sure. I hate when like like again, I work at Walmart, but before I did like the online orders and stuff, I was on the floor just stocking shelves and stuff, and people would come and ask you things and like, "Oh, where's this? Where's that?" And then they would like say something, but they'd say it right in my fucking face, and I wouldn't be able to understand anything they just said. So I just go, like, at first I'll go, "Sorry, what was that?" And then they say it again, I still have no idea. Sometimes I just go, "Oh, okay, yeah." Like, it's just that awkward, like, "Oh, okay, cool, yeah, all right."
Like that time I came running up to you at Walmart.
Yeah, and like 90% of the time it's worked out, but there's that 5% where it's like they ask me again like I'm stupid, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, now I heard you, now that you've actually raised your voice from a mumble." So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked that time though that I wasn't walking up to you at work, but I made a point of like stalking up to you, so like it looked like I was pissed off.
Yes, I remember hearing about this.
He just saw me
Oh
from
my
like the corner of his eye, and I just stood there staring at him until he acknowledged me.
Yeah, I mean, that's accurate, because I would just, most people just walk by, and then if they have something to say, like, I don't know, I'm supposed to greet every customer within like a meter range, but half the time,
Really?
oh yeah, if you work at Walmart, you're supposed to greet every customer within a meter range. Probably not right now, but in the past, in usual, like, if people were anywhere near you, you'd have to wave and smile at them and say hello. And then,
Oh wow.
and then if they linger, you'd have to ask, "Hey, do you need help with anything?" But
I just walked right up to you.
yeah, you walked right up to me. So most of the time, I don't look I just keep doing what I'm doing unless people are like lingering, and then I kind of look towards them. And then if they look back and they're looking intently at me, like they need something, I go, "Oh, hi, how's it going?" So, but yeah, and then when people do that, I'm always terrified because you have to like ready yourself for people. You never know what you're gonna get, right?
Yeah, you don't know
So,
ever what you're walking into with people. It sucks.
so when
Mhm.
somebody's right there beside me, I just go, "Oh," like I'm always kind of like shocked and a bit scared and not ready. So I
Oh
probably
my
look
And then
God.
frightened.
and then one time it was me.
Yeah, and then it goes from frightened to like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?"
Yeah.
I just
And
had
then
the
there's
most amazing movie play in my head when you described Kat like stalking you.
Hmm.
I just imagined her like carrying a bush from like the garden area and just walking around with it in front of her face, and she just like peeks around it, and then her just like sprinting at you and roundhouse kicking you. I have no idea
Oh my
why,
god.
Damn.
but that whole movie just played in my head for the entirety of you guys speaking.
That's
Wow.
amazing. That's amazing. You know what though? You know what though? He basically, like, in a way, he got back at me because one
I
time when I
did.
was at home, like, I went into Walmart and I was
Hmm.
shopping or whatever, and I didn't see him. And then he ended up being like behind me or something, and he just went like, "Cat," and scared the living daylights out.
Well, I think I saw you, and then I saw you for like, like a good like 20 seconds. And I'm like, is that Cat? Like just making sure because I only saw your back. And then I was like, oh, I'm not going to say hi to someone I don't know because that would be really weird. So I saw you from behind, and I was like, is that Cat? And I'm like, and then I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to start with, hey, how's it going? Because if it's not her, then it's going to be really weird. And then I was like,
Yeah.
so I'll just say her name. And then I went, Cat. And then like I was like, but I didn't say it loud enough, so I was like, do I say it
Oh
louder?
my
But it's
God.
that
Oh
awkward
yeah,
thing.
that's
It's
the
like
hearing
maybe it's not
problem.
them. And then I said it louder, and then I think I shocked you, and you were like, and then you just kind of like looked slowly, like ready to like fight, and then I was like, and then you're like, oh hey,
She's preparing her roundhouse kick.
yeah, basically, like because
Because
you,
I think I said too. I was like, I thought for a second it was someone from like my old high school.
yeah, you said that. So you said that
Yeah,
later
no,
at least. So I
that's
think
why
you
I
were,
was like, crap.
yeah, you were like ready to be like, oh hi, and then you were like, oh hey, so.
You should also tell them about what happened yesterday when you came home from work
Sure.
with me with the headphones on.
Oh my god. Okay, so these headphones that I'm wearing right now, because I'm at the computer, but Katie likes,
Mhm.
Katie uses this computer as well. So they're pretty good at noise canceling. So when you have music or like constant something playing in your headphones, you can't hear shit. So Katie over here was singing along, probably had her music pretty high because I just had to turn down the volume before this podcast because it was on like 80 or something crazy. When I usually have it at like 30.
Please quiet, to
Yeah.
be fair.
So, anyways, you had Spotify playing and you were just going, and you were just singing along as best you could, and you're just going,
In
"Ah, da,
Japanese.
da, da, da." And I'm like, I sat there at the door, which is in reference probably, as I'm looking now, it's probably about, well, I don't know, 15 feet away, 16 feet
Mhm.
maybe. Yeah, it's about 15 feet. So I'm sitting there and I'm just going, hi, honey, honey, Katie, 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 Katie. I sat there for 30 seconds doing that, just getting slightly louder. And then finally, I think I hit a bag and that's what triggered her. And she looked around. She was like, oh, hey. And I was like laughing my ass off because she finally turned around. I was about to pull up my phone and start recording because it would have just been hilarious. Because I swear I was going to be there for a minute. There was no recollection that I was there. Like she
No,
was singing
I didn't hear the
along.
door open.
Yeah, like usually you hear the door open and look around. You're like, oh hey, what's up?
Mhm.
But I was I was like almost yelling. And she did not hear me, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna go forever. Okay, I might as well pull up my phone and record. And then I hit a bang, and she looked, and she's like, oh hey, and then I was dying of laughter.
Yeah, and then I was like, I was so embarrassed too, because like I was singing along to a concert in Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And-
I wouldn't want anyone to hear me singing Japanese.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I know the song well enough, but I can kind of do the lyrics a little bit better than average.
You knew the tune, you didn't really know a lot of the lyrics, so it was just kind of like, it was just kind of muttering.
bad.
It was muttering
Like-
and humming.
Was it like Animal Crossing singing?
Yeah, basically. That was, yeah, it was kind of like that, so. But,
Nice.
so yeah, you looked a little embarrassed when I finally was like, hey, yeah, I've been listening to you for the last minute trying to get your attention. Well, the thing is, too, is like, I was trying to call her out because in the past, when she's like has headphones on or doing something, I would come in the door, like when we.
And like touch my shoulder or something. And
Yeah,
freak
and
me
then
the
she'd
fuck
be like,
out.
ah! And then she would make like a terrified noise, like, I don't know. Like, I just want to come up and say hi, and then she'd be terrified, and I'd scare the living shit out
Yeah.
of her. And then she'd be like, you know, and then she'd have anxiety, and I'm like, well, I don't want to do that, so I'm going to actually call her out. Because now I always say, hi, I'm home. But
Yeah.
she did not hear me whatsoever, so.
That's
That's
amazing.
hilarious.
So yeah.
That's what we've been doing in quarantine is freaking each other out.
Yeah.
I've just been
Yesterday,
doing schoolwork and cleaning.
yesterday I played Animal Crossing with my mom for 2 hours,
Mhm.
and then after that I went to the computer and I got comfy and I watched Maximilian Dude play Final Fantasy VII Remake
Yeah.
for the first time,
Nice.
and I think I sat there with some breaks, but I think I sat there for 6 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I watched him play for like 6 hours. It was glorious.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm so obsessed with this game. Like, I want it so bad, but I don't have the system for it, and I can't afford it. So
Yeah.
gotta watch it.
Yeah.
I do want to play it at some point, but I need a
I think you would
PlayStation
love
4.
it.
I think I would too, and because I've never played like I played Final Fantasy 13 like for a bit, but I don't know. It was a long time ago. I was like 14 or 15. I was really confused by it. I was like, I couldn't get past this certain part, so I just gave up and gave it back to our friend Jid.
It's a lot better than Final Fantasy 13,
Yeah.
in my opinion, because the storyline is amazing,
Mhm.
but it's just like it's told in a more efficient and a more user-friendly way.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many NPCs. Like when you play this game, you have to play it slowly. You can't like speed through it. You need to go to all the different places. You need to hear the conversations, like really soak in the world building because there's so much of it.
Yeah.
And it's so well done.
Yeah, and that's a game that I would love. Like, I love those games that are all about, you know, world building, and you can
Yeah.
explore as much as you want. Like, I love those kinds of games. That's why I loved Breath of the Wild for Zelda, and I loved Last of Us. Like, there's so many story beats and world immersion. Like, anything that I can dive into and be like, oh, like just, yeah, be like, what's this? What's this? What the fuck is this? And then just be just running around being distracted. It helps my whatever. Like, I was going to say it helps my ADHD. I know I don't have that. Well, maybe I do to a certain degree, but
You might.
it just keeps me occupied, and then it just makes me forget about anything else, and I'm so fascinated by stuff like that. So, and
I know
I don't
you
know.
squirrel.
what's that?
You squirrel.
Oh, I absolutely squirrel. I'm like I'm like the dog from Up. I'm like, squirrel. Oh, never mind. That was just a tree. So
I don't know if you've actually played Detroit Become Human.
I
I
played
want
a
to play
little.
I do want to play DBH.
I still want to play it all, but
It's kind of like that in terms of the graphics quality, the
mhm.
cutscenes, and
yeah.
Oh, really? They upped it that much?
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, like it's beautiful.
Like, I saw the trailer for the remake, and it looks gorgeous. Like, it looks like, I've seen screenshots. Like, people have been hyping this game up for years now, right? So I've been like,
Yeah.
I've seen little sneak peeks here and there, and I've been like, oh,
5 years.
yeah, this game looks awesome, and I really want to play it. And because I never played the original, so I wanted to be like, all right, I'm gonna play the remake as my first time going through this game, and I want to be blown away because I know very little. So I'm looking forward to it if I ever get a chance to play it. But I might
Yeah, I mean,
I might just have to buy a PS4 because
for you to understand the scale of this remake, in the original, there's a scene that's just you walking down a couple of screens of like environment and then like attacking like 8 soldiers and then jumping onto a moving train. Like that's one scene. In the remake, it lasts for an entire chapter. You go into like 8 different locations and they're all fleshed out and they have people there now that you can interact with. And there's a whole thing, a whole combat that wasn't there before, and then there's another combat, and then there's like a chase scene, and then there's a cut scene where you're introduced to a character, and it's like, it's insane. It takes up like a whole chapter.
And
just to give you like a sense of how much they've expanded on this game.
That's insane.
And that's what I'm excited for, is the fact that like people love this game when it first came out in whatever 2001. When did the original game come out?
1997.
97.
Good guess.
Yeah, see, it was,
Oh wow.
I knew it was PS1 time, so but yeah, the fact that like people still love that game and they love their story and they love the combat and everything else, and then they've been like working on this game for 5 years. It's like it feels like it's from the heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
even I can tell that like people were really excited about this and really committed and really wanted to do it right. So I'm just really excited to see like all these, like, I don't know, like it's going to be expanded upon and it's going to look beautiful and it's going to be like super awesome. And I love like remakes that do that, and they've just like, here, let's take this game and make it even more for the fans and for the gamers, you know? So
Yeah, they definitely made this for the fans.
Mm-hmm.
The reason that they're doing this at all is because they realized that a lot of the original development team that worked on the first one are getting super old now.
Yeah.
So they realized that if they're going to make a remake of this, they better start working on it now.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's a
And
good
they have a
call.
lot of the original people, and they really care about it. They've been working so hard.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Am I the only person excited for Crystal Chronicles though for Switch?
Oh, I want
For
that.
what?
I'm excited
Crystal
too.
Chronicles. It's, I don't know if you ever played it with someone else, my ex actually. But it's a GameCube game, Final Fantasy thing, where basically there is a big bad stream of magic called the miasma that has been taking over
Mm-hmm.
the planet, I guess, to make it almost uninhabitable unless you're in a specific area of where it has like trees with special properties. I'm trying to remember this game. I haven't played in years.
Yeah.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't remember the plot very much. I just remember going over to
It is an insane co-op game though.
yeah, I remember going over to my friend's house and like their older brothers played the game, and they were just like, oh, they just wanted a third person in there that wanted to play with them. And we hooked up all, like, they got all the equipment set up to their GameCube, and they hooked up all the game, like their Game Boys and the Game Boy SP, the Game Boy Advance, right to like the GameCube, and you could all three play on your on the GameCube. And I remember that part of it, and I was like, whoa, this is so cool. Just for like,
I think it was the only game that forced you to do that though, but it was really freaking cool.
Well, they had another game. I think Legend of Zelda Four Swords did that as well, where they were like, you each had to buy the game and then also, but then you could also play on the GameCube if you wanted to play together. So
it was really convoluted that way.
It was very convoluted and definitely like a money grab.
A money grab.
But
it was worth it though.
It was cool for the experience, you know, just like that funky time of like trying out new stuff and new equipment, of like making the equipment make it feel like the equipment made the experience, not the game itself. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole nostalgia factor too with Crystal Chronicles, is that like you only needed to own the GameCube game, and you could play it one player, but it sucked one player.
Yeah, it was made for
Yeah.
multiplayer for
It was made for multiplayer.
families. Yeah, people
Yeah, and
brought over
honestly,
friends.
we went out and we went to like our local gaming shop just to see what they had for Game Boy SPs, just so we could play. We bought one off of one of our old friends, and we're like, hell yeah, let's get in this.
Mm-hmm.
And we got through, like, Nova, my ex, and one of our other friends got through a few chapters of it, actually.
Mm-hmm. So.
And which I think is honestly the next big game I want to buy for the Switch, because there's really nothing else coming out that has like caught my attention. Like, indie games are great and all, and I love them, and I want to support creators, but nothing's really standing out to me yet.
Yeah, there was a few cool things. They did a presentation recently that was pretty cool, and I was like, ooh. But, like, nothing was like, oh, I must have it. You know what I mean? So,
You know what's a game that I've wanted to play for a while because it looks amazing, but I just haven't gotten around to it?
what's that?
Oxenfree. I don't know if you guys have heard of it.
Yes, I have. Amy plays it a lot.
Do you own it?
I do.
Yeah, it's the
I
one.
have it.
It's the one we started playing together at one point, and I was interested because it was all dialogue based and decision based, right?
Yeah, that's why you started your own playthrough of it, because I wanted you to see all of the dialogue options and stuff, and I don't think you agreed with my decisions, so you wanted to do your own.
Yeah, I think. Well, yeah, that's fair. I think we were both kind of like, oh, you chose this? Weird.
Yeah,
So,
that's because we're very different people.
we are.
Yeah.
So,
We should really all chip in to buy Cat a Switch, though.
we should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're okay with a light, though, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. Well, because I wouldn't play it on my TV anyway. So the only time I would play it on the TV is if I was at your place.
And then you're on the go to and from school anyways, right? So.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, so that would be good
honestly,
for you.
Honestly, I would help you buy a light. If I keep getting these good paychecks, I will help you buy one.
Yeah, same.
I want to play Breath of the Wild, guys.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
I'll pitch in for that. I'll pitch in for the game.
Yeah, or you could just borrow it from us, honestly.
Honestly, borrow it from us. You don't play it as much.
You'll like,
and then
don't borrow it from me. I keep playing it, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the thing is,
because I've seen her buy
things to do. I've
seen her buy you Animal Crossing.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would play both.
I know you would.
And you can.
But it was.
Sorry, you can still go online with the light, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, you just can't put it on your TV.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and they're like $150 cheaper. So why the hell wouldn't we get her one of those instead?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm
That's
down.
basically my viewpoint with it too.
Yeah.
Because if COVID decides to behave itself, and I'm still able to get the job this summer, I'll have like no real issues getting it. Right? It's just.
Yeah, I mean,
because your summer job's dependent on what goes on because you work it's a tourism job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine chipping in for that Switch because I don't know if I've ever gotten you a birthday present in the few years that I've known you. So here, I'll just put it all towards one.
Aww.
What color would you want, though?
They have like all the pastel colors, like light blue and
black,
yellow.
teal, yellow, and coral.
The coral is nice.
Coral.
I actually don't. I actually don't like the coral, to be honest.
I like the blue one and the gray one.
I like the coral one, to be honest.
I don't.
Yeah, coral buddies.
Hell yeah.
I like the teal. I like the teal and the yellow, but that's to be
it's
expected
just like,
with me and yellow now.
I do and I don't like the coral because it's one of those things where it's like, oh, it looks nice, but I'm not gonna love it forever.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like staring at it.
That's why I get black.
There's a gray one. I like there's like a gray one or something. I like the gray one.
Yeah.
Everybody loves pink in small doses, and I'm just like, yeah, man, I like pink. My last like 2 or 3 phones have been pink, so not that I see them as pink, but
yeah,
they're more like rose gold, aren't they?
They were rose gold, but I would say that's more similar to the coral. I was just trying to think of colors.
So unsure.
I was thinking of colors in my head, so I don't know. Colors are hard.
They are.
I never know what looks good, as you can tell by the shitty logo that we put on our last podcast, because I was like, yeah, let's just...
You know what? That wasn't that bad, dude.
It wasn't that bad once I got there,
Yeah.
but there was some in-progress pictures that looked pretty
There were.
terrible.
We all approved of it, so it
Yeah.
wasn't just your fault.
That's a personal success, because most people are like, what the fuck are you doing with these colors? Stop.
Well, I mean, I was kind of that way with the first project, with the
Yeah.
first process picture that you
First
sent.
Yeah, well, I was at that point. I was just having fun. It wasn't like I wasn't like focusing in on what something to actually use. I was just like, lol, this is fun. I'm gonna make it Comic Sans.
I
So,
put an end to that
Yeah.
immediately.
yeah.
Immediately.
I
Did
mean,
you even like my Nova? Like, I made one and you never commented on it.
Yeah, it looks fine.
I mean, it's probably the one we're gonna use for this podcast. So you're looking at it right now. Wow.
It's amazing how that happens.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll make a transition. I don't know. We'll figure it
the
out.
power of editing.
We'll fix it in post.
It'll be interesting to see though for like future recordings, because I'll have my
I mean,
puppy.
I can make one once a video.
I
That's fine.
want to see if she interrupts the podcast.
Was that her in the background knocking shit over? I heard some disturbance in the forest.
So that was me. That was me. I was playing catch with our dryer ball for our laundry,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and I missed.
That's fair. I found a pen on the ground and I started clicking it just because I like fidgeting while I talk. And then I was
Yeah,
like,
me
wait,
too.
that's a noise. I need to put this down. So,
Yeah, I have that issue too.
yeah.
I'm a fidgeter.
Yeah.
I was almost playing because I have my DS next to me. I was like, oh, I could play Animal Crossing while we're talking, and I'm like, nope, that makes clicky noises.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm a bit of a button masher if things aren't going fast enough.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
So
Well, I love how this video started off with me going like, oh yeah, I'll explain what League is, and then we got talking about religion and high school and work and
Yeah.
then video games.
That's how
those are
conversations
the
work.
best conversations.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love those conversations where you're like, how did we get here from League? You know what I mean?
As
So,
I sent I sent the two pictures in the chat of who I was going to talk about for my two mates.
And all I wrote back was hot.
Yeah.
oh, did you send them in the Facebook chat that we're
Yes, I did.
doing voice call over right now? Because
Listen,
Yeah.
my laptop can only do one thing at a time.
yeah,
That's fair.
yeah,
That's fair.
I just closed the Google Chrome window and I just have the call open because it opens a second tab. So, or it opens
Oh,
a new
nice.
window. So, yeah, we'll figure out this recording setup eventually. We'll get some groundwork laid out for it. Figure it out.
Yeah.
It's a work in progress. So if anybody's listening, sorry if the quality is a little weird. And
Yeah,
you-
the
Because
fact
it's
that we
also a
all
holiday.
yeah,
Yeah. The fact that we all have to do this over call means that the quality is going to go down. That's just the way it is. So.
yeah. Because in my recording, like just hear it because I hear you guys. I'm gonna hear what the listeners are going to listen to. There's certain parts that I've heard already that were like very robotic, like not robotic, not like for long periods of time, just little lag spikes where it just like, oh, I missed that word. I got the gist of it, but so.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
did that to me. So.
But if
that
anybody's,
just happened.
yeah, I'm gonna hope that for most people listening that they're used to talking on call with their friends and family, and they're like, oh, this is just an
Well, I mean,
online call that
granted
I'm used
COVID.
to. Yeah, exactly.
Granted,
So,
COVID, everyone's going to be doing that right now. I think it should be kind of a given at this point.
so hopefully they don't mind.
I promise none of us are robots.
That's something a robot would say.
Don't give away my
Shit.
secret.
Shit.
I'm sorry. That explains the name Nova.
RoboNova, activate. Well, I don't know. We've recorded for like almost an hour now, so I don't know if you guys want to end it there.
Yeah, I
I
guess
am
so.
good with ending it there. I need to pee.
That's fair. And I think Kat needs to go soon. So,
Yeah.
I have to do some
Yeah, I
stuff.
need to go home for the holidays.
all right.
Well, permanently move home for the holidays because school
Yeah, if I
semester's done for you.
if I stay here, I'll starve.
Oh, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do
So-
that.
Yeah, because I don't have money.
Yeah, well,
So-
if you and your mom or your sister ever want to do a drive-by, I'll come stand out and wave at you guys.
And then we'll have Sassy in the back, just like scratching at the window, being like, "Pet me, pet me."
I mean, I will come to the window and stay 6 feet away from the passenger door just to pet her.
Just get
Oh,
like,
you know what? She has a leash that's 6 feet long. I'll just attach her to it.
oh, there you
Perfect.
go. Nice.
I would love to pet a dog. That would make my life right now.
Or you just get one of those like hand on a long stick, and then you just go scritch, 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 scritch.
She would eat it.
Be like a long back scratcher.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyways, thanks for joining us on this podcast, on Podcast Maybe. Hopefully you liked it. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, comment maybe what you liked about it. We're bad at outros, at least I am. So,
You are.
If you have any suggestions for things that we should be talking about, let us know as well.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I just
Put it in the
feel
comments.
I just feel like any outro I do is a cop out. So
Or on Twitter, depending where you found this.
yeah.
Yeah, that
Or
too.
even our friends who message us on WhatsApp or Facebook. Please tell us what you want us to ramble about.
Yeah, sure. Or any suggestions you may have. But anyways, we'll sign off for now. Have a good day.
Ugh.
Happy
Bye.
Easter, fam.
Happy Easter.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Actually, bye though. Katie needs to pee.
Yeah, I need to go, so bye, guys.
Oh,
Bye,
okay.
guys.
Drive safe.
Bye.
Bye.